You're listening to the Dad Whisperer podcast with Dr. Michelle Watson Canfield. Whether you're a dad who wants to add more tools to your fathering toolbox, or a daughter who wants to connect with her dad, or even a mom who wants to support your daughter's relationship with her father, you're invited to join the conversation today. Here now is your host, Dr. Michelle Watson Canfield.
Hello and welcome to the Dad Whisperer podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Michelle Watson Canfield, and I welcome you again to the conversation today, especially if you're a dad who wants to add more tools to your fathering toolbox. You know that my passion is to help equip you as fathers to dial into your daughter's heart with intention and consistency, and to bring you relevant topics that support that goal. And if you're like a lot of dads I've talked to, you know that the things you learn here will also apply to your role as a dad, to your sons, and also many of you are married or were married to a woman who's also a daughter. So these things apply to how you relate to the women in your life. You know the grid. On your mark, get set, go. I'm on the sidelines as your coach. Say it with me. On your mark, get set, go. And I'm over there giving you those 3 directives, because on your mark every time is the topic or the theme. Get set as I'm going to fill that in with stories and stats. And go is always your practical action step so that you can put your love into action. Well, today on the program, I have a friend of mine. Oh my goodness, we were just reminiscing. It's close to a decade now that we've known each other. And his name is Dr. Jackson Drumgoole. He just earned his doctorate in education, and it's with a concentration in organizational change and leadership. Woo! So I'm talking to a new doc today. Here we are, doctor to doctor. And I want to tell you a little bit more about him. He was on my program back November 6, 2017 on the Dad Whisperer with a great title that he had come up with, which is Dads Are Thermostats, Not Thermometers. And if you haven't heard it, go back and listen. You're going to love it. And you are going to see that this is a dad who walks his talk. Like I told you, he's just got his doctorate. A couple more things about him is he also, little over a year ago, retired from 20 years in the Army. He's an Army officer, moved way up the ranks. He has done tours overseas. He's been at the Pentagon. In fact, we connected in D.C. a few years ago. He just came in his fatigues from the Pentagon over there, looking kind of all dapper there. I just love the fact that he has served our country. Thank you, Jackson, for that. So here he is with me today in person, and I'm so excited that he's back again. And we've really honed this topic because you are a dad in the trenches. But I got to tell him one more thing about you, Jackson, which is that back in 2013, you were given the Father of the Year award by the National Father's Day Committee, which is an award that recognizes lifestyle leaders of our culture whose lives are dedicated to family, citizenship, charity, civility, responsibility, and reverence. And just to show what a big deal it is, who else has won that? Shaquille O'Neal, General Colin Powell, Senator John Edwards, and on it goes. So, Jackson, thank you for being a dad who really lives what you talk about and leads other fathers to follow your lead. And I know those listening today will love getting to know you. So welcome, Dr. Jackson Drumgoole. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you so much for having me. It is an honor to be here. Finally face to face. It's good to see you.
I know.
I'm here in the studio.
Yeah, on this side of COVID.
That's right.
We're even more happy.
Absolutely.
You honestly feel like a grafted in brother to me.
Oh, you are definitely my sister. No question about it.
We've known that for many years. So it's a joy and an honor to have you here.
Absolutely.
Well, we have together collaborated to call today's conversation Preparing to Launch Your Teenage Daughter.
Yes.
Now, I didn't give the bio on your kids, so I'll let you do that. So dads are going to say, I can relate.
Absolutely. So I have 5 children. I have a 27-year-old who's already launched. I have an 18-year-old who's about to launch, heading off to college. And my God, that's where my heart is right now. But I have a set of triplets, 15-year-old triplets, 2 girls and a boy. And again, they are a joy to have. I'll say that. They are a joy to raise. And so that's where we are right now.
And you got to give their names because you guys, you and Shadana got, you get some points for creative names.
Well, we got Jackson the third, of course, we call him Trey. We have Lyric, who's the 18-year-old. Mm-hmm. We have Journey, Jansen, and King.
Your triplets.
The triplets, absolutely. Yeah.
So you've got 3 teenage daughters.
3 teenage daughters.
And as you and I talked,
Yeah.
I love the way that you are intentional as a dad and really, I would say, preparing them to launch your first one, fly in the nest to college here soon.
Yes.
So how about we just start with talking about some of your mindset, some of the ways you think about leading your daughters as you're really raising up confident women.
Well, I tell you, my whole thought process is to help them to find, follow, and finish their God-given purpose.
Okay, say that again. And you call
I
that
call it F3.
F3.
I have F3 and I have D3.
Okay, so what's the F3? Say it again.
F3 is to help them to find, follow, and finish their God-given purpose.
And you tell them that.
And I tell them that. These are the conversations that we've been having from day one.
Okay, so dads listening, this is the get set. We're filling this in, but that might be your go step. Like, I'm going to take what Jackson's telling his kids.
Yes.
I'm going to write this out. Here's your F3, which I love because you're kind of in a way stepping in kind of a military way. Like, I'm leading the troops here.
At this point, I am leading them. The same thing with the D3. The D3 is helping them to discover, develop, and then deploy their gifts to the world. And that takes a little more time in the preparation piece. So helping them to discover, develop. And then deploy. So it's definitely a military mind.
Yes.
In that sense. It's very intentional with that sense by spending time with them to help them to find out what it is that God has creatively and individually called them to do.
Okay, so now let's break this down. Even going back to F3.
Yep.
Is in what ways do you, like, pick one of your daughters? How have you helped her find what her gifts are? And to follow and finish their God-given purpose.
Yeah, so the one that's about to launch,
okay.
the 18-year-old, I'll start with her. So we placed her in several, of course, athletic events earlier. So she did gymnastics, she did CrossFit, cheerleading.
Yeah.
And she found out that this wasn't really what she wanted to do. Well, while she was there at school, one of the coaches noticed her athleticism and the fact that she was more of an individual sports type of young lady. So he said, let me pull you in here to the wrestling room. Try this move. Try that move.
Yeah.
Then he called me up. He said, hey, Jack, I think we have a wrestler here on our hand. And so we kind of prompted me a little bit.
Wrestler.
A female wrestler.
Ooh.
And so within the first 8 months of her wrestling, she was able to get a scholarship.
Oh, my goodness.
And she, within herself, so she has the discipline. She's already created the discipline from her gymnastics days, from her cheerleading days, from even her CrossFit days by just working out and training. So she gets up by herself, unprompted, about 4:30 every morning.
What?
And I'll hear her in the downstairs gym on the treadmill, running, working out, training before school.
And this had nothing to do with you, because dads listening might be going, how do I get my daughter to get up at 4:30?
No.
In the afternoon, it may be hard.
Exactly. It was helping her to find her purpose.
Because she wouldn't have gotten up early.
No.
For a different purpose.
For a different purpose.
You wanted her to do it. Her mom wanted it. Had to be what she was.
Had to be what she was motivated to do.
Uh-huh.
Exactly. And so even her training or the different wrestling camps, she'll find the different wrestling camps to go to because she found something that she really enjoys doing.
Yeah. So did she ever have, I'd say, other hats she tried on that weren't a fit to find the one that was the right fit?
I would say gymnastics. So she did. She tried some different sports that she said, that didn't work well as I like. Track and field wasn't a good fit for her. We tried that. So she tried different things.
Okay.
And she said this wasn't a good fit for her. So again, most dads, I know me, I wanted to kind of force my kids into something. I say, no, I'm not going to do that with my children. I'm going to let them discover. I'm going to, what I call throw spaghetti on the wall. I throw spaghetti on the wall and see what sticks. And we throw several sports at them. Hey, you can try soccer, try lacrosse, try everything.
Yeah.
Try chess, try tic-tacs, whatever you want to do. Just try something and let's find out what you enjoy doing, what your natural proclivities are, what your strengths are. Here's what I tell them. If I have to force you to do it, I don't want you to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I want this to be something that you wake up in the morning excited about doing, something that you think about constantly because you'll train harder. Your discipline will be there. You'll start framing the purpose around your day. Your friendships will be framed by that.
Yeah.
Your character is then framed by that. And so I allowed her to find out what she really enjoyed doing.
Okay, so what do you do if you're a dad with a daughter that isn't motivated to do anything? She's motivated to look at social media and stay on TikTok all day.
Well, again, so I start off with I teach this course called Fathering for Effect, right?
And can guys find out about that?
They can definitely find out about that.
Fathering for Effect. How do they find you?
So you can go to so Jackson Drumgoole at Facebook, Instagram.
Drumgoole.
Right.
Okay.
And so you can find the Fathering for Effect link there.
Okay.
So I teach these 5 principles, and that first principle is patterning the model. Be the model. Be the model. Become a pattern. Right.
Okay.
So that pattern piece, so we'll start there real quick. That pattern piece is exactly what we're talking about. How do you get your daughter off of Instagram or whatever the case may be? You have to be modeling this thing. So my children see me active every day doing something.
You know what's interesting you bring that up is I once had a dad say to me, his daughter was 8th grade. It's like, she just doesn't have much motivation. Right. It's all about her, her makeup, her style, her clothes. And he's like, I'm sick of it. Yeah. She was an only child, so he didn't have anyone to compare her to.
Right.
But he's like, what do I do to get her off herself? You know what I said?
Yeah.
Volunteering. Mm-hmm. If she can spend her time making a difference in somebody else's life, it will change her focus from being on herself to others.
Yes.
But then I said, you know what's going to take it up a notch? If you do it with her.
Yes.
And guess what he said? Not going to happen. And I thought, he wasn't modeling it. He wanted her to change, but he wasn't willing to either humble himself or stretch himself or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what his resistance was. But in a way, I think you're kind of saying if you're gonna set the pattern, maybe even break the pattern of what came down to you from your family of origin, but you get to be intentional as a dad, but do it with her if she's not motivated.
And
Would that fit?
No, Michelle, that's what I like to say. So I like to say if I see something out of character in my children, it's usually out of my character.
Oh, that'll preach.
Yeah, come on, somebody.
Okay.
If I see something out of character, it's usually out of my character because those children, they are watching me. Like I say, more is caught than is taught.
Yeah.
And so they're watching me every day. And so they see an individual that's a lifelong learner.
Yeah.
They see that I'm getting up, I'm working out and training every day. They see that I'm at least trying to give back to my community. They see that and so they automatically say, okay, well, how can I model this stuff? Mm-hmm. What do I need to do? And they find where they fit. All of them find where they fit. And so going back to those 5 P's real quick. So again, we pattern the behavior.
Okay.
Of course, men, we provide.
Yeah.
But that provision word is completely different than most people think it is. The word provision actually means providere. And it's from the Latin term, which means to provide vision. So my job as father of the home is to provide vision. This is who we are as a family. This is what we do as a family. And so everyone in the house kind of has that culture that we are a family of action. This is
what is your family vision?
Family vision is honestly to help others to find, follow, and finish their God-given purpose. Okay. So that's what we do. We help people to develop other folks. That's what we do.
In fact, could I ask you a question right here? I might be getting ahead of where you want to go, but I would love you to share right here then how other kids have been drawn to your home and what you do with them in the morning. Before school. In the car.
And this is something that we've been doing as a family.
Yeah.
My wife Shadana, shout out to Shadana. We wanted our home to be the Kool-Aid house.
Yeah.
So that Kool-Aid house in the South is the Kool-Aid house in the South is the house where all the kids in the neighborhood come during the summertime and they get a glass of Kool-Aid.
We had a gal in our neighborhood in Portland, Oregon, and she would put chocolate in between graham crackers with Kool-Aid to drink.
There you go. We
went to her house.
And everybody gathers around the house. So in front of our house, we have the basketball goal. We keep the basketballs out there so that any kid in the neighborhood can come out. This is going on right now. So right now, while I'm here with you, I guarantee you there's some kids in front of my house playing basketball.
Okay.
And so in the morning times, again, I take my 4 children to school, but then we found out several other kids in the neighborhood needed rides. And so they come over in the morning, talking 6 a.m. And I go in the living room and you see about 3 or 4 other kids sitting in the living room. Whose kid are you? Whose kid are you? Where are you?
And they're probably half asleep.
They're half asleep. Why are you at my dining room table eating breakfast? Who are you? But what we do, we pray before we leave. And then we say our declaration. And then when we get in, we have a morning declaration.
Okay,
I'll give you a piece of. Okay. So in 2013, created a family declaration. And I'll start it, but
Dad, you got to make this your go step.
And here's the deal, because I want to be the loudest voice in their ear.
I want to be the loudest
voice because I recognize, and again, I may be fast forwarding, but I recognize how many negative narratives are coming towards our children every day.
Yeah.
I recognize what the world is trying to tell them. I recognize what their peers are trying to tell them. I recognize, even their little voices inside their head. TikTok, Instagram, all these other voices, before 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning. So I said, let's write a declaration.
And you all did it together?
Well, I wrote it because I wrote it 10 something years ago. So they were, 3-4 years old when I wrote it, but they memorized it at 3, 4, 5 years old.
Oh my goodness.
And here's what I did, Michelle, I promise you this. I had them to memorize it and to speak it back to me because I needed to hear it myself.
Okay,
come on.
Seriously,
come on, somebody.
Like, preach again.
I needed to hear it myself.
Out of the mouth of babes.
Babes, exactly. And so every morning, probably we did it twice a day for the longest time. And it goes, I'll try to remember. I'll try to remember. It says, I'm a child of the Most High God. I'm a believer. I'm not a doubter. I'm a winner. I'm not a whiner. I'm the head, not the tail. The whole world, I'm smart. The whole world is helping me to win. I prosper, flourish, and succeed in every area of my life. I prosper, flourish, and succeed in my friendships. I prosper, flourish, and succeed in my schoolwork. I prosper, flourish, and succeed in my finances. When I pray, he hears me because I pray according to his desires. And then I know I have the things that I ask for. I'm a child of the Most High God.
Oh, I love this.
And they say that every morning.
Maybe not that fast, or
not that fast. They do because they're sleepy and they're like, I just want to get it out the way.
But you said other kids then.
And other kids will say it.
Doing it they're in your home.
If they're in our home.
To go to school. You're going to say the declaration.
They say the declaration. They pray. And then while we're driving to school.
Yeah.
And I'm driving them to school. And I'll just call a kid out in the car. Hey, it's your turn to pray this morning. Okay, everybody bow their head except the driver, and one of the kids will lead us in prayer.
And we're talking teenagers.
We're talking teenagers.
And do they fight you?
No, they don't fight me.
Do you have a theory, Doc, as to why? Because I think a lot of, sadly, because I love teenagers.
Yeah,
I've been walking alongside, loving on, locking arms with teenagers since I was 19.
Yeah.
I've just loved that age.
Right.
And yet I think in our culture, they've gotten a bad rap, like, oh, they don't know what they're thinking and it's all about themselves, or they just want their way or the highway.
Yeah.
But what are you finding?
I think they need to see it modeled. Like I say,
yeah.
I think most adults try to go back and be a teenager again. They try to be hip and try to be cool.
Yeah.
No, what kids need to see, they need to see what adulthood looks like. They need to see what a godly parent looks like. Most of them have never seen it before. Mm-hmm. And so even I see this in church, right? I'll stand in the front row and I'll say, when worship is going on,
yeah.
And I know that a lot of other men are watching me and other young men are watching me, I'll raise my hands high and I'll praise and I'll worship because most men think that they have to cross their arms or hands in pockets and doing worship and kind of just nod, shake their head. No, man, express yourself to the Father. Mm-hmm. So most of these teenagers have never seen a 50-year-old man, literally lean in towards the Father every morning and say, this is who we are. And yes, Father, I think I have all the answers, but I don't. I recognize I don't have the answers. I recognize that I'm at my best dysfunctional, at my best,
at my
very best.
Yeah.
And, and I'm in need of your grace and of your mercy.
Yeah.
They need to see that it's okay not to be okay every day. They need to see that.
Yeah.
And so that's why I don't get much kickback from them because they recognize, first of all, Mr. D, he's Mr. D. He's Mr. D. He's Mr. D.
They're going to start calling you Dr. D.
Now. They call me Dr. D. Yeah, they call me Dr. D. But they understand that, first of all, I love them, I care about them, and I want the absolute best for them. And I tell them this, I remind them, guys, I've been 15 years old at least 3 times. At least 3 times. I know what you're going through. And I'm here for you.
Oh, I love that.
Right.
And I think just hearing your vulnerability, honesty, authenticity, that's what I find teens respond to, is they can read between our lines. Even when we don't think they're reading us, they're reading everything. And I have found in all my years of loving on teens, walking with them, they can tell if you love them.
Absolutely.
Even if you like them.
Yep.
And so that has so much power to them then following, because at the end of the day, they want to belong.
Yes.
And when you invite them into your family and say, this is what we do as a family. Do any of those kids have broken homes?
They do. Some do.
So when they're invited in, you as a dad are giving them a place to belong. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I want to hear the rest of the P's about how to be a dad who knows how to invest in your teenage kids. We'll be right back.
Absolutely.
Are you a dad who has ever desired a deeper connection with your daughter, but haven't known how to go about it? Let's Talk Conversation Starters for Dads and Daughters is the very resource you need. Dr. Michelle wrote it with you dads in mind. This book will support you with scripted questions, equip you to decode your daughter, and inspire you with stories of other dads and daughters. Don't wait any longer to be the hero you want to be and that your daughter needs you to be. So, to let the talking begin, head on over to drmichellewatson.com/books and order your copy today. This book will become a favorite in your fathering toolbox and will give you the answers you've been looking for. That's drmichellewatson.com/books. Now, back to the Dad Whisperer podcast.
Okay, welcome back to the Dad Whisperer podcast. I'm Dr. Michelle Watson here with my dear friend and brother, Dr. Jackson Drumgoole, and we are talking about practical ways, dads, that you can prepare your teenage daughter to launch. And you got a few more P's. First P was, review them again.
Was the pattern, to model the behavior you want to see in your children.
Number two
is to provide vision for the family. That's the most important thing. This is the direction we're going. Abraham didn't know exactly where he was going, but guess what, Sarah? We're going this way. The third P is to protect, to be a protector of the family. Not just a physical protector, because we recognize that's the case, but it's to protect the ecosystem and the culture that you put in place in your home. Whatever that culture is, that godly culture, you have to put kingdom culture over everything, and your job is to protect it. It's similar to, here's why I like to say it, it's like creating a garden.
Okay.
You plant a beautiful garden. The last thing you would do is just to leave it uncovered for the rabbits and for all the folks to come in and get what they want to get.
I love that. All the folks.
Yeah, all the bugs, everything. No. You would protect it in whatever way you could to protect it, to ensure that that ecosystem remained clear and clean. And go ahead.
I was going to say, you know what that means? You got to say no. You got to let her not like you when you say no.
Wow. Come on.
Right? And that is not an easy thing, especially if you're a dad who wants to be liked, or you're a dad of divorce where, maybe there's a lot of permissive stuff that I hear that from a lot of dads, like mom lets her do everything. So when she's with me, I'm teaching her boundaries. And maybe you feel like you're the heavy where you only say no.
Right.
Well, maybe it's adding some yeses in.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a hard thing, isn't it, to say, how do you protect? Because a teenager is wanting to push back, developing muscles to say, some people call teenage years latent toddlerhood. When she was a little kid, she was saying, no.
Yes.
Me.
Yeah.
Mine. Now. Like a lot of one-word answers.
We're going to come back to that.
She's saying it again now in her teenage years.
Yeah.
So I get that it's a hard job to know how to protect when she says, Dad, you don't trust me. Dad, I'm okay. You're just the heavy and you're not respecting me. What do you say to that, daughter? There?
No, we're going to. Are we there? I'm going to reverse this in a minute and start asking you some questions, because that's exactly where I want it to go.
And you're there now.
I'm there now because like you said, we have gone through the phase of, I know, Dad, I know. And I'll say this with all vulnerability.
Yeah.
I've mistaken her drive for independence for sassiness
and rebellion. And it isn't.
And it's not. So
it's
please,
age appropriate.
Help me.
And I always say, if you want your daughter to say no out in the world, you got to let her practice saying it at home.
Come on, somebody. Okay.
Where she pushes back. And one of the best things you can do, because you want to teach your daughter how to think.
Yes.
Not just what to think.
Okay.
Is if you've set a boundary with your daughter, let's say curfew. Or no against that, with that boy, or whatever it might be, but let's say curfew. Let your daughter come and present her case to you and your wife. You say, we'll be willing to reconsider this, but let's do it together. We want you to write down pros and cons. We want to teach you how to think it through. And I just heard of a story where a mom and dad changed their no to a yes because they said, you have some very good points. And I thought, My goodness, I would have loved that as a teenager.
Yes, yes.
To know that my opinion, my stance had value to my parents.
Yes.
She's going to use that same skill out in the world so that when you then do say no, it carries more weight because your daughter sees that you're willing to be reasonable.
Right.
You're willing to honor her thinking. And then it's not always no and it's not always yes.
Yes.
But there's that balance.
Let
Does
me
that help?
No, that's very, very helpful. Let me ask you this. The 15-year-olds,
Yeah.
where should we be with them right now? I mean, so they're not quite emerging adults.
No, they're 10 years out from where their prefrontal cortex is even developed, which is where you think,
right,
reason, and have good judgment.
Sure.
They're still a long ways away from being there.
Okay.
But they don't know that.
They
think they smart. And what
they
is
got
it?
it.
Remember that from the help?
Smart.
Smart.
Your eyes kind.
I've got it. So I'm smart. I was beautiful.
Yeah, that's right.
But they don't know that. They think they know it all.
Okay.
Right? So you're just as a parent going, some of this is a phase. Just like it was when she's 3 years old going, no, you fat.
Right.
You don't go, oh, I'm devastated. You're like, they don't even know what they're saying.
Right.
It's really somewhat the same.
Okay.
It just sounds louder and you get a lot more emotion at 15, more of a gale force wind
Right.
version.
What do we do about, and I knew I was going to end up interviewing you because
You did tell me that.
because I'm like, I got the question.
Around.
Why would I be with the dad whisperer and not ask her these questions? I'm not going back home empty-handed.
Okay.
So how do you handle that conflict and discipline of a teen? How do we handle those crucial conflict moments?
You know, sometimes in my counseling office, because I didn't know what you were going to ask, but I have actually had parents and teenagers in a session. I can picture a family, even one of them right now, where I actually flipped it and said, let's ask your daughters what they think an appropriate consequence would be to that. And I remember these girls, it was 2 teenage daughters, and they both said, well, we think we shouldn't have our phones for a week. And the parents go, okay. I had them later say to me, we would have never gone that much. We would have said like a day.
That's right.
But I thought, okay, there's one idea. Let your kids pick their consequence.
Yeah.
If they have violated, let's say, a family code or whatever. Again, I think doing things where you're not in anger, because I think sometimes dads, feel the disrespect, they feel the pushback, and they are like, nobody's going to respond like that in my house. Yeah, especially with military.
Yeah, that's me.
You say, yes, sir, and you don't talk back.
Exactly.
And you're like, oh, man, this is a dilemma where I'm getting my own buttons pushed. As I say, you'll never regret waiting to respond to discipline.
Okay.
Give yourself a timeout that's as many minutes as your age so that your brain can calm down and you're not all mid-brain emotional response.
Sure.
Like just say to don't just leave the room in a huff. Go, you know what? Daddy need to calm down.
Yep.
I'm going to be back in about 45 minutes or whatever your age. Come back because it'll give you time to cool down.
Right.
Bring your own prefrontal cortex back online so that you'll be more reasonable. Listen to your kid's mom. Sometimes her input, you might go, nope, I don't need your input. You'll probably soften if you get her input. Come back and then you get to say to your kids, I don't think I'm understanding. Help me understand.
Okay.
I want to understand.
Okay.
They'll be calmed down. Let them tell it to you again.
Okay.
And sometimes it's deciding together. Like that just doesn't seem like wisdom, honey. And I'm going to tell you why. So on this one, you might hate me, but I'm going to have to say no. But then see where there's balance when you said yes and adjusted. I really find that teenagers will come around.
Okay.
They'll come around because they'll see your heart is turned toward them, not just your head. And I know that may sound way too ABC 1, 2, 3.
That's exactly what I need. No, that's what I need.
But it's some practical ways to say, how do you navigate? Because you do want pushback. You will get pushback.
Okay.
That's how their muscles get stronger, just like lifting weights in the gym. For out in the world, you're lifting weights in the gym so you can lift stuff at home.
Right.
Same here.
I love it.
She's lifting. Oh, my goodness. Well, I could talk to you all day. Okay, give me a couple more P's and we'll get ready to land the plane.
Okay, the last P. So we talked about pattern, provide, protect, prepare.
Okay, give me that
one. And that's what we talked about with the F3 and the D3.
Got it.
So that's where that comes from.
Launch.
Yeah, preparing them to launch. And the last thing is to avoid passivity, to be intentional. To be intentional about everything we're talking about here. Like you said, taking the time. I never put the taking up time out for yourself, but literally just sitting there thinking and saying, okay, what does this particular child need? Again, I'm raising 5 children right now, 4 children at home.
Yes.
3 daughters, and we're doing it right
There's
now.
not enough time.
There's not a lot of time
to go around.
No, there isn't a lot of time. So I have to be intentional about spending time with this one, intentional about connecting with this one, and intentional about pouring into certain children at certain times.
So what are practical ways with busy kids, with busy lives,
Right.
dad's busy?
Right.
Give some practical ways that you do fight passivity by being intentional.
So for me, even with a long, busy day, the first thing I do when I come into the house, I stop by each one of their rooms before I even go to my room.
Love it. Okay.
Before I go to my home office, because it's so easy to run to my laptop and get back to work.
Yeah.
It's so easy to do that, or walk in the house with my phone in my hand. First thing I do, I put my phone in my pocket as soon as I get in the house, and I'll greet every child. How was your day? And we'll sit down and give me a quick debriefing. Tell me about your day.
I look kind of a military.
Yeah, I do. We joke with it. Yeah, it is. Give me a quick debrief. How was your day? Tell me good, tell me bad, and we'll run through it real quick.
See, I love that. High-low buffalo was another one. Was my high? Was my low? Buffalo was unexpected. Isn't that
There you
cute?
go. I like that. I like
learned
that.
from some teenage
I
girls.
love
And I
that.
was like, Ken and I do that.
I love that. I love. So
I
you
said,
said,
how was your day? Because it could be fine.
Yep. High, low,
Like,
buffalo.
I love
Yep.
you
Give me
said-
something good, something bad.
Something good, something bad.
I'll stop by each one of their rooms, and they'll automatically have their speech prepared or whatever, because they know that they'll tell me this, and they recognize, hey, that dad wants to spend time with them, so they'll stop what they're doing, and if they're doing the homework, and they'll turn around and tell me how their day was. My boy, he'll turn around and he'll just start punching me or wrestling and fighting,
Of course.
because that's his love
That's how we
language.
connect.
That's how we connect, right? And then I'll go to my room. So that's one of the practical
Wait,
ways.
where's your wife fit in there?
She'll usually run down the stairs when I come home to try to get me first. yeah, she'll run
Do you
out.
ever run down the stairs to get her?
What we do is we'll meet each other. We kind of chase each other for a minute because the kids are trying to get in between us. Yeah.
Really? That's so
yeah.
cool. So the patterns you started young,
Right.
you're carrying, and really, I would say reaping the benefit of that now. And maybe some dads listening
Yeah.
may say, I've lost too much time.
Yeah.
Like there's too much water under the bridge, or I didn't get this early enough. What do
Right.
you say to
I
that?
tell you, and again, I'm not perfect. Let me say this. I apologize more than anything.
Really?
I admit my failures and
Okay,
my faults.
that is a key
Yeah.
strategy,
Yeah.
not only for connecting with your teenagers, but preparing them to launch.
Absolutely. I let them know this is not perfect behavior, guys. I may have responded I may have responded wrong, and I'm quick to apologize to my kids.
Love that.
And I cannot go to bed at night. That's the intentionality piece.
Mhm.
I will not put my head on the pillow if I have something I need to say to my children.
That's good.
And even if it's 10 or 11 o'clock at night, I need to come sit on the foot of the bed, knock on the door. Hey, can I come in for a second? Dad didn't respond.
Humility, man.
Oh my God. Listen,
Humility.
I do not want them walking through life with my wound, whatever that was. I don't want them to, if something happened to me, and I know, I hate to speak morbidly, but I served in the military for a number of years.
Yeah.
I've been in war zones. I've left the home multiple times. I hate for something to happen to me and I never return back home
Mm-hmm.
and they remember the last thing I said and it was negative. Or they remember our last engagement and it was negative. I don't want them to carry that.
I don't think that's negative, Jackson. I think that's strategic and it's reality.
Right.
We never know
We never know.
if that might be our last day, whether we've gone to war or whether we're just going out into the world.
Or going to the grocery store.
So you're
Exactly.
thinking long game. You're
Absolutely.
thinking, and again, if you're preparing your teenage daughter to launch,
Right.
she's ready to go out there. And if you treat her with respect,
Right.
with humility,
Yeah.
with honesty, with authenticity, she will expect nothing less from the men in her life.
Amen.
Whether it's a boss,
Right.
a guy she dates or marries,
Yeah.
or a coworker, right?
Exactly. We want her to advocate for herself, right?
Yes.
Exactly. So, again, those are some of the practical things that I do.
And you
Yeah.
told me you had one stint, right? Gone for a year and a half from
Oh,
you.
easily. Yeah. Easily.
Or
Multiple
longer.
times, a
Multiple
year and a half.
times.
Right.
So then you now,
Right.
now that you're retired, you're home with your kids.
Exactly.
And you're thinking, how do you make up for lost time with teenage kids?
Just spending more time with them. I'm asking them, hey, how can I impact your life right now? What do you need from dad?
Okay, that might be the go step right now for a dad listening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ask your daughter,
Right.
how can I make up for time that we've lost?
Exactly.
What do you need from me?
What do you need from me?
There you
I
go.
tell you, and they give me some of the simplest answers. Can you just talk to me? Listen. One of my daughters, Jansen, can you just listen to me sometime? Can you just sit and listen to me? So I'll just sit in the room and just let her talk.
Isn't that
Or she'll come and sit on the bed while I'm sitting there on the laptop, and she'll just talk. And I say, well, let me know when you want to talk. So I'll give you all my attention. I'll close the laptop, and I'll close the laptop, and she'll talk. And,
oh my goodness.
And I'll just listen. The other one, Journey will just come and lay across the bed, and she'll just lay there in the middle and nothing need to be said. She'll just lay there in my presence. Just be there.
And that's something. So you develop different skill sets by what the different needs of your daughters
whatever they need
are, which helps you grow.
Absolutely.
And helps them grow.
Softens my heart.
Before we wrap up, I want to ask you, if you were to give dads listening 1 or 2 practical ways that they can prepare their daughters to launch, their teenage daughters into adulthood, into life.
And again, I'm there right now. Some people preach from a place of perfection. Some of us preach from a place of process. I'm in the process of doing this. So that's where I am right now, to be honest.
And you've given lots of great practical ideas, but just as we wrap up this conversation.
One of the things, I'm letting her know that I'm here. I'm letting her know that I'm here for her. And so, I will be here. Exactly. I'm here and I will be here. I'm a phone call away.
Yeah.
I'm an inch away from you. If you need anything, I'm there for you. I'm here to protect you. I'm here to provide for you.
Love it.
I'm here to have a conversation with you about anything. So again, I'm allowing myself, giving myself, letting them be available to
And you said you had a couple things. What would be one more thing to tell that dad if you want to prepare your teenage daughter to launch?
I love what Kipling says. He says, give them love and give them wings. Right? So that's what I'm doing. I'm giving them all the love I can right now.
I love that. Yeah. Do you guys see why I love my brother Jackson so much? Because you can tell that he's in the trenches and he walks his talk, and he wouldn't tell you that you should do it or could do it if he wasn't doing it.
I'm working on it. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for being here, Jackson. Well, today on Your Mark has been preparing to launch your teenage daughter. Get set. You've got lots of ideas that you can put into action so that go step isn't just a listening experience today, but now it's going to be an action step and an action process for you. Well, this wraps up another week's program. It's been great to be here with you all. I'm Dr. Michelle Watson-Canfield, the Dad Whisperer, signing off and encouraging you to make today a day where you intentionally and consistently invest in pursuing your daughter's heart. Go Dads!
Thanks for joining us for another edition of the Dad Whisperer podcast with Dr. Michelle Watson-Canfield. To find out how you can invite Dr. Michelle for your next event, go to drmichellewatson.com and click on the speaking tab. That's drmichellewatson.com. Dr. Michelle loves bringing practical insights she gleaned over the past few decades to audiences of teenagers, young adults, men's groups, or women's forums. Once again, go to drmichellewatson.com. That's drmichellewatson.com for more information on the books, resources, and blogs that she has available. Remember, you can listen to the Dad Whisperer podcast on Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts. And we'd appreciate it if you'd subscribe and leave us a review. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you again on the next edition of the Dad Whisperer podcast with Dr. Michelle Watson-Canfield.